Okay, so this is an addendum to the Rkelly victim or villain reading here, because that was the question. And I closed down the reading, but this one card just kept jumping out at me, because your overall energy was despair, right? Like, I went back to that, like, okay, overall right now you feel despair. And then once I worked my way down, and I'm like, okay, so sis, is it the fact that you're in despair over, one, that your husband is locked up, two, the community backlash, being a leper outcast, or whatever, the stain and all that? You worried about the legacy, you worried about the money being provided for if you're gonna end up with his house, or what how you're gonna make off and all that, and worried about him dying in jail. Okay, I got that, but not once did I get an energy of you ain't so. You mean tell me, so you're not worried about, in spite of the fact that we clarified the domestic violence, the craziness, all, like, we got that. We got that. Okay, we got that. But there was nothing in there where you were worried about the victims at all. At all. I'm like, what? Like, excuse me? Because it was clarified at the end that this was a whorehouse. Okay? Period. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that appears what it is, that you worried about, again, yourself and all of this, in spite of this, in light of, like, period, the victims, the villains, victims, okay. And so, I was putting up the, oracle cards, and then, Mel B popped out, right? It says spicy marriage breaks down amid domestic abuse. Spicy marriage, right? Spicy. Y'all like this shit. You met him as a stripper, blah, 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 blah. Like, and then it turned into, and you was down with it, even though you was getting abused yourself. No tea, no shade, spade, period. Spicy male B is your clarifying energy, because I kept getting all these different males. So this motherfucker definitely bipolar, got schizophrenic, multiple personalities, crazy, all that, and sadistic, all that. But you here. It says spicy marriage breaks down amid domestic abuse. Now, this was Mel B's quote about her marriage. There was a point when I was like, yeah, I am a really bad person. Yes, clarifying energy. I am ugly. I am worth nothing. I am a has-been Spice Girl. All these negative things will be drilled into me on a daily basis by him. You start to believe it. But the first line, yeah, I'm a really bad person. Okay? So he played on your insecurities here. Always unlucky in love. Mel B revealed the details of her abusive marriage to TV producer Stephen Belafonte. The singer claims during the darkest periods of the relationship, she was taking cocaine for breakfast just to get through the day. Sounds like Belafonte was a real scary spice. Yeah, so horrific energy, but at the same time here, I'm like, so you just you don't care. I just don't feel like you was worried. You don't care, even though you are portraying and being the face of or trying to domestic violence awareness. Is like the rocks is in your hands. Like, what are you talking about here? You like you were an active employee of the motherfucking month here, in spite of all of that. And I think maybe at some point it got really crazy, and turned really, you didn't know, maybe you thought you was going in and getting one level of kink, and you got some crazy shit. I don't know, but I feel you went down the fucking rabbit hole willingly, because you felt like some type of level of legacy, and now that shit is trash, and you weren't, like, worried about the wrong shit here. Alright? Worried about if he gonna commit suicide. I don't know. I'm down. But yeah, that was my thing. You was where you still at this point and the whole way through worried about yourself, put yourself first before and after, despite witnessing and being an active participant and in these horrific things against these victims. Now, I ain't saying At no point do I feel like you were forcing. You may have had some scary shit to deal with yourself. I mean, I don't know, but at some point you was a willing participant. Maybe it got bad for you somewhere up in there, but at some point you was cool with it because you felt like the queen of some fucking mafia drug, opera. I don't know. If that's what you want to be queen of, I don't know, bitch. I don't know where them victims are or whatever that know about you, seeing you and all that, but I believe they are out there. Okay. Maybe you made them feel like I don't know, but okay. Bye. Fuck. Okay. This is the Patreon extended of the Rkelly victim or villain reading here, and I see why. I was like, I knew you was in there somewhere. I said I knew the energy was up, and I didn't know what it was gonna come out of. And I was already done, but some just say, nah, let me pull this little gypsy deck, and yeah, spirit is very cleared here, right? Because I'm like, it's a lot of cloaking, a lot of magician foolery going on. Okay, but let's get to it. All right, we have the faithfulness card. All right, you were definitely faithful to your husband. All right, you was faithful to the money first. All right, because fortune came right after that. So to me, that tells me you want to get famous. You want to have money by any means necessary. You felt like this lover card was a source here. All right. With this servant card, you were happy to serve this man. You served up. Look at the motherfucking cups here. 1, 2, 3. All right. You definitely served him up. Women and all that shit here. All right. Because you wanted to serve him. You were subservient to him. Okay. You got elevated to a wife. You was fine with that. You went ahead and had some babies to make sure that you secured the the bag too. Also, all right, because you were committed to the bag and having the bag and living a certain type of life and establishment here. Now, the child came out again after you, right? And I thought I was like, well, okay, maybe she have this, but no. For me, this child card was catty corner to the lover card, which is representing your husband. So you knew that your husband, which was sleeping with these kids. All right. Period. You knew it, and adjacent, open the door, whatever you went along with the system and the rail. I ain't gonna say underground, the smuggling. There you go. All right. I feel like it was happening in the house. All right. And the police caught up with y'all. Okay. Period. Burnt the whole shit down. Yes. But with this joyfulness and this 3 of Cups, you were a willing participant in it, because this is clarified by the servant here. You had a good old motherfucking time. All right. You knew this shit was going on. Period. All of it, and knew that he was having sex parties and all of that. This is what it's giving in the house, all of that with these children. All right, because I have the 3, the lover's child. Period. All right. Serving. Knew that he was serving these, all right, kids to the parties or whatever. All of that. Police came, burnt that shit down. I feel like at a certain point, consultation here. Now, either you try to get somebody help or something like that. All right. Falseness, thief, sorrow. Somebody told you if you be quiet, that you would always be taken care of, provided for, even though that this was the method, this trafficking, whatever this method was, and all this shit. You was cool to stay quiet and be fake and act like you didn't see it or whatever. Told the police, lied, okay? Lied when the police came and asked you, with this falseness, and the consultant here, because you didn't want them to ruin it with the thief. They were stealing these kids, something like that. Yeah, you knew that too. But here you are, sorrow again. And desperation here, despair that you weren't provided for in all of this mess, and somebody promised you if you didn't say shit to the police that you was gonna be provided for. Okay, and that ain't happening, not to the extent here. So you just in despair altogether that you did all this shit. You shut the you didn't say nothing, and you took part of it, and you all of this. So your empire, your little whatever crumbled. All right, and then on the back end, when the house burned down, when the tower hit, somebody, your person, husband, whatever, convinced you that they was trying to steal. All this, if you be quiet, you'll be provided for, but that ain't you waiting on some money that ain't gonna never come. Yeah. What else? Yeah. They definitely got these kids off the street for these parties, whatever the hell was going on. I'm like, all that shit here. All this shit finna come burn down. Or whatever. Man. This is crazy. Clarify this falseness and this thief. Yeah, you were paid to, you like while you were there, despite the fact that you were getting abused, whatever, you were still paid off to pretend not to know, nothing at all, to lie, basically here. The only thing you surprised at is that there is no money, with the melancholy love child and gift here. No money being left over for your seed, your sources, like you were told here. But you're not being provided for because you are I feel like you are an enemy of God here. You didn't speak about these women and everything that was, of course, you do. I just heard, I didn't want to incriminate myself, but bitch, I don't know. But it's good to know the Lord here. I'm out. This is disgusting.